My mom introduced me to flaxseed. It was only a few years ago. She was turning 50 and wanting to start eating healthier. At the time, I was temporarily staying with my parents while I transitioned from active duty Air Force to graduate school. I had been living away in California, Alaska, and far off Turkey. I had traveled and tried adventurous foods, but I had never used flaxseed as an ingredient in my own cooking until I came back home to my mom's kitchen. I remember growing up on highly processed foods because they were cheapest, and that was all my parents could afford. So when I returned home as an adult and saw fresh fruits and vegetables in the refrigerator, and interesting flowers, seeds, and spreads I had not heard of in the pantry, it made me proud that my parents had worked their way to being able to afford healthier options, and they were trying to eat healthier. While my mom worked upstairs, coding medical charts for a hospital on the other side of the country, I read through her new healthy eating cookbooks and tried out different recipes. I found that flaxseed was a common ingredient. My favorite use of flaxseed was adding it to our green smoothies. I would use some of the recipes from the books, but sometimes I just created my own combinations, and they could always use a little flaxseed. I learned that these tiny seeds are nutritionally powerful. They are sources of omega-3 essential fatty acids, lignans, and of course fiber. Some studies have even suggested that they might have a protective effect against cancer. Learning this about flaxseed made me feel good about serving foods with it for my mom to try. A quick internet search found articles about the origins of flaxseed cultivation in ancient Babylon, and I found an interesting anecdote about how King Charlemagne believed in the health benefits of flaxseed so strongly that he instituted laws that required his subjects to consume it. I remember laughing when I found this story because my mom had recently told me about watching a show on celebrities tracing their lineage, which reminded her that one of our relatives had traced our ancestry back to Charlemagne. When I was researching Bob's Red Mill flaxseed, I learned about the origins of Bob's Red Mill and Bob and Charlie's story, and I noticed that the most important ingredient seemed to be love. It's clear that Bob believes in taking care of people, from his wife Charlie to his employees he made owners of his labor of love. It's a wholesome story of generosity behind a wholesome product, and I am thankful for all the labors of love, from maybe Charlemagne to my mom, that nourished me along the way. And as I train to become a health professional, I can only try to follow that tradition of taking care of people.